What's up, everybody? It's Gerard B with Gerard B TV. Thanks for checking us out today. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're going to get right into it today. Day 6 camp recap, as well as our player spotlight for today's camp. So let's start off thinking about it like this. What if the Commanders' most electrifying player or camp story this year isn't Deebo Samuel? It isn't Jalen Lane. It isn't Trey Amos. It isn't Mikey Sandersdale. It's Jacory Bill, as he like to be called, Croskey-Merritt. We just gonna call him Bill. It's easier. It's not good for the algorithms, but it's easier, right? He's already earned first team reps in pads, and he's making it clear. B-Rob, I'm on your butt. I'm on it. I'm getting these reps this year. Starting week 1, I'm taking some of them reps. So a little history about him. 7th round pick, 245th overall by Washington, out of Arizona by way of Alabama State. Yes, he transferred a lot in his collegiate career, but listen, his stock did crash. His eligibility got revoked by the NCAA. Really just one game into the transfer to Arizona. But remember, he did win the offensive MVP of the Shrine Bowl. But that didn't really help his draft stock crazily. But it did help him get drafted by us, which is all we care about. AP unearths gems in all rounds, especially later rounds. So we're especially looking forward to seeing how he develops, if you will, especially early in the season. Because if we can spell Brian Robinson a little bit, we're going to get into that. Listen, on day 5 of camp, right? So yesterday, he earned his first team reps. He didn't waste them. His burst, his vision, and his downhill aggression were unmistakable, okay? Scott Abraham tweeted, "I've never seen a 7th round pick get as much love as Jacory Croskey-Merritt. He pops off the screen. He's a fast, violent runner. Fan favorite already, okay? He's getting the love from the fans. He's showing, he's giving them something to love him for, right? We love a good running back. We haven't really, we scoring on Brian Robinson, but I think B-Rob's a good running back. I think Jacory Croskey-Merritt's a good running back. Who has the greater potential? We will see. We all believe it's the Jacory, but we're gonna see. I think a 1-2 punch type deal, that might be the way to go for sure. But listen, analysts like Grant Paulson and Ben Standig, they echo that the rookie has been impossible to ignore at camp, okay? Then day 6 turned up. Pads on again. It's still hot out there. Man, y'all need to drink y'all water. Jacory Croskey-Merritt looked really comfortable out there again today. Ran physical between the tackles, absorbed hits without slowing down, and continued to press the edge versus second-level defenders. Dan Quinn specifically mentioned his violent cuts and ability to stay square at the line and the downhill burst that he provides, even before he knew how he finished, how he gonna run that play. Think about that for a second. He's giving you so much to handle the moment he gets the ball in his hand. It's just, you like, okay, is he gonna run over me or is he gonna run around me? Is he gonna just stop and make me miss? Is he gonna, shift left and go right, or is he gonna spin on me? The boy got, he got a wiggle, and he's also fast. So you gotta deal with that. And then the contact balance, so when you do hit him, you're probably not gonna get a good hit on him. And the fact that his contact balance is good, he's gonna spin right off that hit. He's gonna be able to bounce off that, put a hand in the ground, and keep it moving. So let's move on to some full camp takeaways, okay? Some of the headlines of the day was Deebo Samuel, Marshawn Lattimore. Of course, it was Jacory Croskey-Merritt, Trey Amos, as well as I even think I seen my mans talking about Tressway hitting coffin corner punts. We definitely could use some of that. A lot of headlines, of course, about Mikey. Mikey has had an amazing camp. That secondary is looking really good. I'm hearing a lot of good reports about that. I've even heard reports regarding Kane Madrano and how he's looking out there. They said he had 2 back-to-back plays. He actually ended Sam Hartman's good day that he was having up until that point, where he had a pass breakup on one play, then turned right around another play and got an interception. So he's obviously leaning into what he does the best, which is coverage. Being a former wide receiver and safety, you have to believe his footwork is pretty good. And we'll be able to use that skill set, especially as we trying to spell linebackers like Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu. So let's touch on the depth chart real quick. When it comes to the running back depth chart, okay, you got Brian Robinson at running back 1. Austin Eckler is going to be running back 2, okay? Same way it was last year. Running back 3 is where it gets interesting because we have McNichols, who is a special teams demon. You got Chris Rodriguez, you got Michael Wiley, you got Jacory Croskey-Merritt, all vying for those last 1 or 2 spots, depending on how many running backs they keep. So one would have to believe that with Jacory already getting first team reps in practice, he's a leader in that clubhouse for in front of those guys. Now, again, McNichols can just make it purely on special teams. So bringing 4 running backs in is probably what we're going to do. And they don't want to have Eckler necessarily doing too much. They've had him back there on kick returns with Deebo Samuel. That's also something to note. Deebo and Eckler on kick returns is something nasty. So you might not want to have him run as many offensive plays as he did last year. So you might only see Eckler in legit screen downs and passing downs, right? Or that draw he likes, And then obviously Jacory and Brian Robinson, they'll split the carries when it comes to, your traditional run sets, being able to pass block as well as get out into routes themselves. So definitely versatility across the board in that running back room. Very interesting. It's going to be a very interesting battle to see what they end up doing. Another depth chart note, Nate Herbig retired today. So that depth at center and the hope that Michael Dieter would not necessarily be not won't say on the roster, but be so close to being able to play, that dream's done. So now we have an open roster spot. So now some of them guys out there, they're gonna be hungry. They're gonna, we got a spot open. So we definitely gonna be interested to see who they fill in that spot, because they're not gonna continue camp with one open spot. No, they're not gonna do that. Not when you can have a full 90. So also think about this for a second. Back to that Nate Herbig surprise, if you will. We only signed him to a 1-year deal. So we already have young players that can obviously fill that role, but the snap counts now in practice are going to be different, right? You're going to get a lot more work from some of those lower depth rotational players. And so that development might, this might be a good surprise for us. Some other players might get a chance to develop that might have just been on the practice squad or not even practice squad available. And now they might, work their way in the practice squad or work their way into the back end of the roster. So, you got to look at it both ways. I'm a glass half full kind of guy. So that's probably how you should look at it too if you're going to rock with this channel. Also, let's talk about, lastly about Jacory Croskey, because I know I keep coming back to him. What this video is mainly about is Jacory, but I want to make sure I touch on the camp a little bit here and there. Listen, the vision that he plays with, the patience, and the balance under contact. I'm going to just keep going back to those things because we have not seen that in a running back in quite some time, right? Quite some time. Antonio Gibson was good, right? He just couldn't stay, all together. And then he had fumbleitis. So that was the issue there, right? And you don't really want that. You don't want that at all. You really want to make sure that your running back, he should be the best ball handler on your team, besides the quarterback. Even though most quarterbacks are the worst ball handlers, Our quarterback is the exception, not the rule. But running backs should be one of the best ball handlers on the team, if not the best. And hopefully we continue that trend with the lack of turnovers, except for that Philly game that we had. So that wasn't good. That wasn't good. Last few camp hits that I'm gonna hit you with that piqued my interest on the interwebs. Marshawn Lattimore, Mikey Sainristil, and Trey Amos, right? They really are standing out yet again. I keep bringing Mikey up. I don't think I've mentioned Marshawn too much, but they keep trying Marshawn at practice today, and he is not letting up. You know, you might complete a ball or two here or there, but other than that, it's a no-fly zone over there. But it looks like it's intended. It was intentful for them to do that. Looks like they really wanted to get some work on his side of the field. Trey Amos, obviously, when you got a stud like Marshawn Lattimore on one side, you're going to get a lot of action. So once they stop flooding Marshawn's side, they start throwing at Trey Amos and Mikey Sainristil, and they held their own. Obviously, we don't have Terry McLaurin, so we don't have our ace up our sleeve on the offensive side. So the secondary is going to look a little better. When Terry get out there, and he's going to be hungry to prove he's worth the contract that he get or whatever he gets, or if he doesn't get a contract, however that plays out, he's going to be hungry to prove himself regardless of the situation. So, yeah, man, you guys better have y'all cleats tied up tight when Terry come on the field. Also, the offensive tempo is getting there, man. Like the rhythm and the cohesiveness, even though the defense had a good day, right? JD and Deebo, that precision timing, is coming in handy. That downfield throws, corner to end zone catches, they're really being able to feel each other out. And my last video I posted yesterday, talking about Deebo being the Weapon X, that they are building that chemistry. They are literally like you literally can see every day them just stack reps. And again, it's intentional, right? Everything they do on that football field is intentional. And Terry not being here, again, glass half full, it's good for Deebo. Deebo's getting all the wide receiver 1 reps, right? Like if you wanted to break that down, let's just say you broke it down out of 20 reps between wide receiver 1 and 2, wide receiver 1 would probably get 12 to 13 reps. Wide receiver 2 would get whatever's left. So 7, right? 8 to 7, 7 to 8, I should say. So that's just how it goes. Big dog got to eat. And right now, Deebo the big dog, so he eating. Listen, as day 7 and preseason approaches, we got to watch closely. I think we got a gem in Jacory. I think you do too. Also, with Deebo Samuel, I think we got a gem. I think you do too. All I want you guys to do is hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Remember, later this week, we're going to drop a video on some of these trench monsters, offensive line and defensive line. It's a lot going on in that realm. We really might have a top 5 offensive line. We really could have a revamped defense, right? With a revamped defensive line. Like this is really legitimately becoming Dan Quinn's team, and how him and AP really want to build it. Last year, it wasn't their team. This year, it feels more like the team that they want to build around and the team that they want to have for years to come. Again, that youth movement. If you look at the roster, right, after you get past the 535-year-olds, right, everybody else young, and they all growing together, right? So it's a good problem to have. It's a great problem to have for us as fans, because we get to grow with some of these young cats and watch their careers unfold and blossom and things of that nature. So again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're going to continue dropping this daily content for y'all. Appreciate y'all, and we out.